Master Tech Lou channel. 3.5 years ago, I did a video on are Autel scanners useless? I'll put the photo of it right here. I didn't want clickbait, and I don't think it's clickbait. I believe that everything as far as tools are useless if you don't know how to use them, right? So basically, I've had this thing 3.5 years, and I'm gonna give you my thoughts on it. I spent $1,800 plus tax on the MS906BT, which means it's Bluetooth. And as far as all the numbers, they just make everything so confusing. I don't care what brand that's out there, Autel, Launch, Xtool. They come up with all these fancy numbers to try to, maybe excite you with the numbers. Like a 9 is it's a 9. It's got to be something, right? It's just tell me what it does. Give me a different level. Level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5. Because as the end user, and I've been doing this 25 years, it's so confusing to figure out which one you need and what's going to be good enough for you, right? So I did another video right here on how to reset your check engine light, basically to show you all the different levels of scanners and the things that they do. So as far as this one's concerned, it does everything up to possibly programming control modules. I didn't have to use that feature, and I don't have the adapters for it and stuff, so I really don't know if this does it. But the thing that I would do differently to answer the question, would I buy this again? I would buy an Autel again. I may not buy such a high-level Autel unless they gave you a la carte options, right? So this case, first off, I don't bring this case anywhere. This thing is gaudy and disgusting and takes up a lot of space. So I use things like my Milwaukee case to put scanners in, That's where I've been carrying it with my scan tools. So it comes with all the adapters for the OBD1 models, right? So you take the dongle and you plug this into the OBD2 connector from the scanner, and then this goes into the OBD1 or the onboard diagnostics version 1 or whatever you want to call it for the old school cars. You don't see those anymore. At least in Illinois, those cars are rusted and they're in junkyards and they're long gone. I don't need all this stuff, right? I do old Mercedes, but most times you don't get old Mercedes where you need a scanner to do it. It's usually something mechanical or obvious that's broken. So I haven't had to use this with an old Mercedes yet, but I got all the adapters, and it does come with, car chargers and all that stuff. So pros and cons. The pros are, it's an Autel. This thing's been around forever. They got all the software, right? They have a lot. There's very few things that it lacks on. One of the issues I found was I was doing my neighbor's 2014 Nissan Armada. It had an air suspension issue. This wouldn't read it, at least for the 2014. I had to change the year for it to finally show the air suspension module. But when I used my launch scan tool, it read it in the 2014, maybe it's 2013, one of the two, right? Which is another point I like to make in most of my videos is you never just need one scanner because one won't do it all. Now, one thing that I advise people to do with scanners is when they encounter problems, create a report to send to them, because that's how these things evolve and they become better, is if they don't know an issue, they can't fix it, right? So that's one of the downfalls to any scanner. No matter how much you buy, it's never one and done. Okay, it all depends on the work that you do. I have a guy out of Georgia that does programming and keys and all that stuff. He's got the highest level Autel, and he texted me the other day and says, dude, this thing is crazy. The Maxis Elite or something like that, whichever highest one they got, that's the one he got. I'll try to put a photo here too. But, and I don't need something like that. I don't do enough on the side for that, The other downfall is battery life. Man, about a year in, the battery took a crap. It lasts not even half the time that it should. It drops to 50%, super crazy. Right now, I'm at 73, right? The other day, all I was doing was checking and clearing codes on a Mercedes I worked on for a heating issue. I might have had this thing on for 15, 20 minutes maybe, but any length of time that it's on, we'll say 30 minutes, right to 50%. And then from 50%, it kind of gets close down to 10. Then from 10, it just wants to die, right? So after only having this for 3.5 years, I would prefer the battery last a good 5 years, okay? Because I don't know who to send this to, and I'm afraid to send it out. I've sent iPads out to be repaired before, and they come back worse off than if I just left the battery be weak, right? It's so hard to find people that do a quality job repairing stuff. I've seen videos of how to change the battery. I might attempt it myself, but I also have a lot of other scanners that I do for YouTube, so I don't have to rely on this, and I usually keep it plugged in too, you know? So besides the battery, you don't know what this thing can do until you try it on the car to see what it can do. And one of the things is the service mode, right? All the service resets and coding and changes and stuff. Not all model cars can do that. So you don't know until you go into one, and then it gives you the brands that it can do, right? So it would be nice if Autel, maybe they have some kind of a list as to what it can do. I know on the scanner it does, because you can go to, where's that? Function viewer. And when you go to function viewer, you type in the car that it is, and it tells you what it can do, and then it tells you what it can do for that car, right? Or what the scanner can do. Another thing is when you are in a car and you're diagnosing stuff, the values, it doesn't tell you what they should be. You kind of have to know this stuff or figure out how to figure it out, right? Which is where Google comes into play. So when you get the scanner, it's a tool to connect you to the car so you can see what it's doing, but it doesn't tell you what's wrong, right? It'll give you a fault code that still doesn't tell you what's wrong, all right? Sometimes you get lucky and it says O2 sensor, so you put one in and it fixes it. Sweet, you got lucky. Doing this 25 years, it's not always that simple anymore, okay? So now, if I first started out in cars, people would say, hey, what's wrong with this car? Oh, I see it all the time. It's a thermostat. Now, after doing this for 25 years, I can be like, you know what? Got to diagnose it. So anyone you ask a question to and they give you an answer as to what it should be right away, the answer should be, you got to diagnose it or you got to look at it, because I've seen so many different things over the years that it's no longer cut and dry. Oh, it's this, right? So it would be nice if when you read fault codes, you have to Google the fault code. It doesn't tell you anything. It doesn't tell you what to do with it, right? I believe the higher end model, my buddy said there's a new software program in it that it gives you the test steps, right? We use companies like AllData. I'll try to put photos. AllData, Identifix, Mitchell, Pro Demand, OEM software you can pay for. Okay, there's a link. There's a website you can go to. I'll put the link here and I'll put it in the description too. Make sure you read the descriptions. All my descriptions to all my videos, I put a lot of information there. So click on it and read it. Okay, I do this for you guys. I don't do this for myself. I like helping people, sharing my experience and knowledge. Because it took me a long time to learn this stuff myself. And you can't do this on your own. And anyone who thinks you can, you can't, okay? You can't do it on your own. You can't do anything on your own. Everybody needs people to help. I often ask for help in YouTube and look to help me excel. You don't know everything, and there's so many different opinions and views and all that stuff, right? So battery life, information, what to do when you get the information, it's very hard. So this does not answer all of your questions for the car. This is just an access point to get into the car to do the things, right? So would I get one of these again? Yes. Would I get one man, I feel like you have to, right? So like I would probably just get a wired one. I mean, Bluetooth is very nice, but you can get wired with extensions. I would like to spend the least amount as possible to allow me to do the most possible. It's very hard to do that in the car world, right? And you got to buy it through an authorized seller, or else Autel is going to tell you, sorry, we're not helping you with anything. So you got to be very careful on where you buy these things. The subscription price to renew it, $500-600, if I'm not mistaken. That's very hard pill to swallow because it's a third of the price of a new one. So instead of buying a subscription every 3 years or every 2 years, maybe this expired in 1 year. I don't even know. 1 year it expired? If you just wait 3 years, just buy another scan tool and then you get the software. Why would I pay that much a month or a year to upload? It's just software. Yes, you're giving me the tools to access the car. I do believe it's a little overpriced though. I don't care about all these cars that I don't have here in USA, right? It would be nice if you could pick and choose what cars that you want in your scanner, right? There's so many. Let me show you real quick. I would do a screen video, but so you got the, let's see, USA cars. Okay, we only got a couple here. European, Aston Martin, Ferrari, Maserati, Porsche, Rolls Royce. Okay, Lancia, DS, Abarth. Come on, we don't have these here. Ford, Europe, we don't have these here, right? So like for different markets, it would be nice to just have the cars that you have or pick and choose. I don't need half this stuff. So I'm paying for software, you know, that I don't care to use, right? So yeah, I hope this helps. I like this thing, I really do. I love the Autel brand. It was my first very expensive scan tool purchase, you know, because you work in the shop, the dealership usually supplies you with stuff. One thing I would say, don't ever buy a scan tool off the tool truck. Snap-on, Matco, Mac, man, they charge you $3,500 to $5,000 a year to access the scanner. When you're done, the scanner, you get nothing. You log in, says you got to pay to use it. That's a ripoff, right? Stay off the tool trucks with scanners. Buy these things aftermarket, right? And then what you do to recoup your expenses is when you go to look at a car, automatically 100 to 150 bucks to look at that car. You had to pay to buy this. They should have to pay you to do your thing, right? A lot of people say, well, if you diagnose it, is it free if I do the repair? Is it free if you go to work and you figure out something for your boss for an hour? But then because you did, like, no, every moment I'm working on the car, it's my skills and knowledge and work going into it. You should be paid for that, okay? Don't accept nothing less as a mechanic, right? We are getting harder to find good, trustworthy ones. And yeah, I'm going to self-proclaim I'm good and trustworthy. I have hundreds of people over the years, thousands or whatever, a lot that I work with on the daily or weekly or monthly, yearly over the years. It's a very hard niche to be good, trustworthy, honest, reliable, right? And do a good job. It's not that hard to exceed nowadays. So I am rambling, but as far as the scanner is concerned, hey, if you're looking at the Autel brand, I do like them. I really do like it. I don't think I'd get another one personally. Would I? Yes. Will I? Probably not, only because I do YouTube now and I got a lot of products that people are offering to me. So, and I don't even do as much as I used to do. So if I did another one, Autel, hit me up, see if you'd like me to do a review for you. My useless video got 188,000 views, something like that, because people want to know, why is it useless? Well, the scanner doesn't do the work for you. You use the scanner and your brains and your fingers and your knowledge to do what you need to do. So, hey, I hope this helps. Here is the video right here that I put for our Autel's Useless. It's cheesy. It was one of my very first ones. Don't judge me or judge me. Whatever. I don't care. I try doing this stuff for you guys. So I don't make money off the products. I make money off YouTube. Yeah, that's for sure. But I like doing this in my spare time because I myself, the car world, there's so much out there and you kind of want to get reliable information. I'm trying to provide you guys with reliable information based on me. I've been in the business for 25 years, man. Parts guy, manager, service advisor, mentor, team lead, foreman. I've almost done every position at the car dealerships, right? And now I don't want to work at them again because they suck. They all suck. So, hey, my name is Lou. You guys take care.